So I've decided I'm gonna do that thing again where I talk as I do something. Damn it. This time, again, it'll be cooking because that seems to be rhythmic and like something I can do pretty consistently and commonly and comfortably. Like the TV silenced. If I sound a little weird, it's because I just took one of those little tablets. Fucking live on them, unfortunately. It's the only thing I can get nowadays that stops the pain without it being an opiate. So we'll turn that to auto. That way it's not so loud. Now it's nice and quiet. Gotta take care of the lighting. Hopefully I set everything up right. Everything's all in frame correctly. But, yeah. I think we're gonna do ramen and eggs again. Because that seems to be what I've eaten for almost the past 2 weeks. It's May 13th. 10:18 p.m. Gotta get the bowl. First things first is get the kettle going. Because I know that could be a little time consuming. Gotta find the minimum fill line. And then get our water. I don't think it's safe to drink from the city water coming out of the tap. Fill it just above the minimum fill line. Tap back on the gallon. Put our kettle on the burner. Make sure it's all closed up. I'll turn the burner to like just under 6, above 5, or above 4. And take the dried vegetables and the flavor sauce out. Because one of the dried vegetables don't taste very good, and the flavored sauce makes me nauseous when I make it with eggs. Which again, I'm going to complain for a second, are really expensive. It's $9 for the eggs, $9 for 12 eggs. But that's okay. Because I got another rack of eggs. So we've got our old rack, which we'll finish off by this meal. Well, that's our new rack, but this is our old rack. This one will be filled with all the old eggshells by the end of this meal. So we've got our pan, spatula, ramen, eggs. Looks like there's something on the spatula. I gotta clean out the sink the rest of the way one of these times. I wonder if you guys can hear that. The swooshing noise. It's kind of cool. Alright, so we've got our eggs, our ramen, and we have our oil. I went to the store today to look for a neat looking like oil pour bottle. Couldn't find one, but I looked. I did come across like some glass bottles with silicone corks that you could put in them for like drinks and stuff. I thought about getting them, but I'm not sure what I'd put in it. Probably juice, because I drink a lot of juice. I don't drink a lot of soda anymore. So, turn our pan on again. We'll put that to like just above 4. And a decent amount of oil for the first go around. So that'll heat up, set our oil off to the side. Alright, so we've got our water in the kettle on. We have both burners on. Right? Did I do that right? Yeah. I've got my eggs. I had a little bit of time and I went and I packed my best friend's lunch for tomorrow. So that was fun. I got him these, like, they're called pinwheels. They're like a marshmallow on top of a chocolate cookie. And it's all encased in chocolate. So I got him a bunch of those in his lunch. Some like sour gummy candy. I made him 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with grape jelly, creamy peanut butter. Pretzel bites. They're like little bits of peanut butter that are encased in a pretzel. A little bit of salt on the pretzel. So pretzel bites, the pinwheels, the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, the gummy candy, the sour gummy candy snacks. I think they're called Swiss rolls. It's like a tube and it's chocolate and it has like white cream filling on the inside. I haven't had them that I can remember. I think I've had them maybe once at an airport. That was when I was flying to or from Alaska, I think. I don't remember. But they called it an old man finger. I remember that vividly. That was in the airport. I think that's what they are. Anywho, I got him 2 of those. They're pre-packaged in a little cellophane plastic package. So it's essentially 1 package, 2 pieces. Oh, and I got him a single layer little mini like moon pie, chocolate one, of course. So I've got all of that nice and neatly put together in his lunch bag, a little brown paper bag. And of course, always have to date everything. If I can get that to focus. Always have to date everything. And I drew on the front because I like doing that. It's fun. Wrote, enjoy your lunch and snacks. I drew a picture of us. So, that's what I got to do today. It was fun. So, if he comes over and he stays the night and he has work tomorrow, I'll have his lunch all packed and ready. All I have to do is put it in his lunch bag with a can of soda. Because, yeah, normally I give him like a Sprite with his lunch too. But this time I've included a lot in his lunch, especially the sandwiches. The sandwiches are new. The Swiss rolls are new. And the sour gummy candies are new. So, back to what we're doing over here. So the pan's heat up quite a bit. Gotta make sure the oil is completely spread around, especially across the sides, because I have a really bad habit, strong habit, of dropping the eggs along the side of the pan. And then they burn up pretty quick and they get real gross and it's difficult to clean. So to avoid that overall, we just oil up the pan. I really keep thinking about wanting to cook with like bacon grease or something, especially egg. I imagine that'll taste really good. So with our first egg in, cracked, and in. So I typically make them like not sunny side up, like over easy. Oh, I caught myself doing that. I make them like over easy, but very lightly over easy. So the bottom just barely solidifies enough to where it stays together, right? And then I'll flip it over very gently and make sure the other side seals over almost completely as well. That way it just doesn't spill out. It's still very, very, very runny on the inside because it pairs well with the ramen. So hopefully I'll turn our kettle up, get that going so that way we can get the ramen going faster. Oh, and I gotta get a bowl too. I wish I had glass bowls. That'd be nice. Instead of plastic. I don't like the way the plastic kind of smells after I've cleaned it. It doesn't smell bad, it just smells like plastic. Yeah. It just smells like plastic. So we'll set the bowl aside for our eggs. Maybe turn the heat up just a bit. Put it at like what would be a 5. They have grape juice. I had the grape juice. I don't drink a lot of grape juice. I really don't. It's actually quite rare that I do. It tastes good sometimes. So, now that the bottom of the egg it's just about cooked over, I can very gently lift it up, tilt the pan, and drop it back in there. Kind of let the oil get away from it a bit. That's a lot of oil. There we go. So that way it'll keel over on the other side, and that egg will be done. The trick is you have to keep the yolk like super, super runny. Makes it taste a lot better, I think. You can hear the kettle starting to boil. Oh, and I got him ice cream too, because I like ice cream too. Bluebell, I think it's called. Yeah, chocolate and vanilla, Dutch chocolate and homemade vanilla. They come in little 3-ounce cups. Oof. Burned myself. Not paying attention. Yes, so that's how the eggs is supposed to look. Very, very lightly cooked. Most definitely still runny. So that one's done. Gently put that one in there. Add a little bit more oil. Make sure it spreads around in the pan. And we grab our second egg. I might have mentioned this at another point in making this, but I typically like 3 to 4 eggs with this. Come on, there we go. I'm gonna drop our old eggshells in there. Rinse the egg off my hand. The kettle's starting to boil. Drop one of these. I made a mess. When that egg popped, it spewed oil everywhere. You always, always, always have to keep your area that you cook in nice and clean. Turn the heat down a little bit. After all, you are eating, right? Even though it's just olive oil, it's still nice to keep the area clean. Nobody wants to cook in a dirty place. Steam slowly starting to come out of the kettle. Gotta keep that spot where you break the eggs too nice and clean. Okay, so that's cooking. The kettle's boiling. Set your spatula down. I've already taken out the vegetable bits and the liquid flavor sauce, but I kept the bouillon powdered flavor. So that's cooking. I got a message. It's from Will. He said he should be here in about 25 minutes. I wonder if I'll be done cooking by then. Told him that I moved my truck to free up the covered parking spot. Well, hopefully I can get done with this before 25 minutes. Should probably set a timer. And that's calculator, calendar notes, clock. Yes, I know. I'm just setting a timer for 20 minutes. Okay. Stop screaming. Okay, so I set the timer for 20 minutes. Hopefully I'll get done before he gets here. So we take that off the burner, shut the burner off. Without burning this egg, we catch it. Right, so that's definitely a little bit more solidified on the bottom than I hope I could tell just by picking it up. Yep, see that? Way too cooked on the bottom. That means I was gonna be very quick with it on top. Damn, see, this is what I get for not paying attention. So now with that off, we can open that without burning ourselves and pour in our boiling water into the ramen. Oh Lord, that's the first time I've done that. Just spill it all. Yes. Well, it's a good thing I've got extra boiling water. So we close that back off, put that back on there, get this out of that water. Take the egg out, so that one's not done for either. Drop that egg in there. Add a little bit more oil once again. That was a lot too much oil. Make sure it's spread around in the pan. Yeah, I desperately want to try cooking with something else aside from olive oil. Because it's a very strong smell, olive oil. So now we've got boiling water all over my stove. I wonder if that'll make it easier to clean up that oil that does spill. Now this shot towel is definitely soaking it up. We're gonna let that soak up while I grab another towel. Gotta be quick with it. Gotta be quick in there. What's that from? It's like a Progressive ad, I think, when I was younger. Get that one all folded up because I botched the other one. So now with our boilingly hot water in there, we can leave that on top and make sure it's nice and closed down. Get the cup out of the way. Rinse that out. While the egg's cooking, see what he had to say. Geez, already 17 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Yeah, he's talking about how I had to call a tow truck because somebody parked in my spot and they wouldn't move, so I was like, okay, that's okay. You don't want to move, I'll move for you. Cool. So we caught that one a little late again as well. I really don't like it when it's, I prefer if it didn't get all runny or all dark and whatnot, just barely like starting to brown on the bottom. One of these times I'll have to show off like my apartment. It's not much, but it's mine. My desk, my couch, my bed, my rugs, my precious rugs. I always keep them super clean, immaculately cleaned. I quite like it. So this one's just barely solidified over by now. Let's scrape that one up. Yep, see? Just barely solidified over. Barely. Okay, and then we can grab the oil again, a little splash. And around the pan it goes once more. And last but not least, the last egg. And into the side of the pan, nice and gently. Perfectly. Cool. And like little bits of egg off my hand. Cool. So now our old rack is finally full. We can close that up. And then when I'm ready to take out the trash next, I can pull it from the fridge, throw it in the garbage can, instead of it smelling like rotten eggs in my garbage can. Nobody likes that. So there's the old eggs. And then we can begin on our brand new rack of market side grade A 12 large organic cage-free brown eggs. I like the brown eggs more. They're pretty good. I also gotta hurry up and shave before he gets here because this is really gross. I don't know if I'll have enough time, but I've got some Pepsi for him if he wants it. Water. Got a bunch of other stuff too. So those are the old eggs. We're done with this egg rack, so this one is ready to be filled next. So we can put the new egg rack on the very tip top. The soon to be old eggs, empty eggshell rack on there. This one, get off the spatula. Very lightly cooked that. There we go, shove all that egg back together. Gotta be a little bit more patient with it. I think we're done with the oil too. Then I have to get a fork. Yes. And we will, yeah. We're gonna slide all the other eggs to the side once this one's done. How much time do I have left? 13 minutes. Yeah, making good time. We can do it. Everything cleaned up and all ready to go by the time he gets here. So I'm gonna call this one done. Just flip it over. Bring the pan to its side and drop the egg over. Very lightly again on this side. I can use that spilt boilingly hot water that's burning the ever-loving hell out of my hand. Kind of clean off the stove a bit more. And we'll move the bowl of ramen, clean off the counter a bit more. Now, without forgetting about the egg. Oh, I hope I didn't just crush the yolk. Cool, so that one's done. Turn that one off, that's off. Right, now we get the hot water going. Always got to take care of your stuff, so cleaning it off is important. Kind of like that sound. The hot water, the hotter it is, helps get the oil, the residual oil out of the pan. Helps make it more viscous, more runny. Tilting the pan at an angle. We can just wipe our pan out. Be sure to get along the edge, back of it, the bottom, and the handle, because that oil does pop and it does splash around. And you don't want to touch old oil and then touch new stuff all the time. It's gross. And now our pan's all clean, nice and shiny. So with our pan done, next is going to be the spatula. Do that same thing with the spatula. Hot water helps get the oil off. I get too much of the oil off with this one. It's because I'm rushing. I want to make sure I can tidy up a bit before he gets here. But I'm crossed whether to wait to shave before I eat or after I eat, because I don't want to taste shaving cream. It shouldn't take me too long to shave. I could shave really quickly. Okay, so now the spatula's done. We can put the spatula in the pan away. Perfect. Now we take the bouillon off of there. And using our fork, yep, ramen's nice and cooked up. We drain out most of the water, not all of it though, just the vast majority of it. With the lid still on, it helps drain without losing all your noodles. There we go. Peel the lid back the rest of the way. And we try as best as we can to spread around that powder, because it will clump up with the hot water. And you get these little brown balls of beef flavoring powder in your ramen, and I don't think that's very good. It smells very strong. It smells like a Chinese bistro. Mixing the bouillon in there. Cool. Now that that's done, we can grab our bowl, desperately and safely try to lift the side of the eggs up. And we dump our ramen on the other side. Flawless. Make sure it's all in there. And it's okay if you miss a spot and make a mess, just be sure to clean it up. Always gotta remember to clean up after yourself. There we go. Let's grab the old lid. Now that's all goes in the garbage can. Right. Now, with our 4 eggs in our ramen, we can add the salt. We do a nice light layer over all of it. And get the eggs a little extra. But there is already a lot of sodium in the ramen. And we get our pepper. Good thicker layer, again, over the eggs. Close that back up. Right, and then we get our garlic powder. This one's very easy to overdo, so you have to do it gently. And we do it again over the eggs and the ramen. There we go. Perfect. Now we can mix it all up. So we toss a couple of the eggs over to one side of it. And we can pop the yolks and start mixing them up. So with that really runny yolk, it helps bind the noodles together. And I think it tastes really good. Be sure to get the eggs nice and broken up, especially the egg whites. You don't want it all clumped up in one spot of the bowl. You want it evenly kind of mixed around with it. And now, you get one of the most common meals I make and eat, eggs with ramen. I think it tastes really good. Oh, with the salt, pepper, and garlic too. A little bit of SPG. So with that being said, it's pretty good. Thanks for watching.